Welcome to a casted game of Age of Empires 4. Spawning in on the right hand side of the map in the color orange, it's OPA, who is actually Wham's Smurf account, for those that do not know. So we got Wham here playing as the Holy Roman Empire, going to be opening up with the dock as we are on the map Mediterranean. His opponent spawning in on the left hand side of the map in the color light blue, it's going to be Crackdy here playing as the Malians. And we can see he's opening up with a dock of his own as well. Very standard stuff here, as I mean this map is known for if you win the water you win the game. I mean that's usually how this map pans out, unless you've got some sort of very large mass on land that you can somehow just overwhelm your opponent even though they've got the superior economy. Sometimes works, but most of the time it tends to be win the water, win the game. And so let's have a little talk about civilization bonuses for water. I mean, neither of these civilizations have huge bonuses. Let's start off with the Holy Roman Empire, because this is probably the biggest out of the two, and that's relics can be garrisoned inside of the docks. And that means all your ships they attack 5% faster for each relic, which can be pretty huge. But obviously no Dark Age or Feudal Age bonus right there, which I mean that tends to be quite an important stage of the game when it comes to water. Not very often we see these water games go past Castle Age, to be honest. It usually pans out in the Feudal Age. Over here with the Malians, they've got a couple bonuses. The first one being around their docks, ships move faster, which, let's be honest, it doesn't really achieve much. I mean, sure, you can move them a little bit faster, but yeah, I don't exactly know what that would do. And oh, my apology, I've got these two the wrong way around. I'll swap that around for you guys. The second bonus that the Malians have is that their transport ship, you can garrison villages or any unit inside and they will actually shoot. So transport ships can shoot, and this is something that we saw Crackdy do a little bit in the 2 versus 2 tournament, Clash of Lash. And he'd send out his transport ship with some villagers in and take out the enemy fishing ships, which is pretty smart. So we're going to have to see if he decides to do that this time. But we can see here Crackdy moving now onto the woodline after gathering up all of these straggler trees. Still got a little one here, but going to be moving out onto that main woodline now. And we can see Wham over here going to be doing the same. And I mean, another huge bonus here for the Holy Roman Empire, which I really like about this civ on water, is the prelate. I mean, we can see here Wham is on 4 fishing ships and he's slightly ahead of Crackdy, and that's because of the prelate. I mean, the prelate can inspire up these villagers and they become so much more efficient at chopping the wood. You can just keep on pumping out these fishing ships while also having some villagers here on the sheep. So I really like that from the Holy Roman Empire. Prelate definitely coming in handy when it comes to water games. I mean, any game in general, but I like what they can do on water. And we can see Crackdy going to be moving out onto the pit mine as well now. Well, he's building the houses, not built the pit mine yet. I would expect that to be on the way soon. We see bringing in some more sheep as well. Still 3 villagers remain on the sheep. He needs a little bit more gold. We can see only got 110 gold in at the moment. No pit mine, so it's not going to be any passive income for the time being. So he might just look to gather it up with some villagers. But there we go. The pit mine is going to be put down. Scout looking to try and take out Wham's scout there as well. Back over here for Wham. He's moved out onto gold as well. Looking to age up very soon. Holy Roman Empire can age up very quickly. I mean, it's mainly because of the prelate. And aging up to the second age fast is really important in water, because you can get out your first galley or hulk and you can look to put pressure on your enemy really quickly. And on water it's so important because there's nowhere else for your eco to go, you know? Like if Wham's fishing ship comes here, or not fishing ship, like galley comes here, these guys have nowhere to run. Whereas on land, you know, you can send them behind your town center, whatever. So being the first aggressor on a water map is really, really important. And we can see the second dock is out for Wham. And it is going to be Ark and Chapel next to the woodline here. Crackdy, still a little bit off aging up. We can see his macro's a little bit off here. Needs to gather up that gold a little bit quicker. We can see floating a little bit of food right there. He's around 200 food above what he needs. And we're going to have to see what he decides. Ooh, the Saharan Trade Network. Okay, so maybe he looks to add in a little bit of trade as well to this. this, yeah, I mean, going on water plus trade works very well. You know, you got your food, eco on the water, and then you got your gold from your trade. So I like this move from Crackety. I mean, the Manticore is always a nice age up as well, for the stone or the gold. I mean, having that nice little bit of passive gold's always nice. And it's not very often we see trade being used on a water map like this. Usually because your focus is all in on the water, you don't really have time for the trade. And if you manage to win water, I mean, the best type of trade is water trade. You can see there, trade ships. Got a nice little coastal trade post over here. You can see Crackety is going to be expanding out with all of those pit mines. And we can see the first galley and Hulk is in the queue for Wham. Crackety's still a little bit of aging up, and this is why it's so important to be the first one to age up, because that Hulk and galley's on the way. The Hulk's going to be the one doing the main damage here on Crackety's fishing ships. Luckily, he has built that second dock. War Canoe going to be immediately in the queue, but Crackety only has room for 6 fishing ships, which means 2 are going to be left out, and that's perfect target for Wham's ships here. You can see Galley going to be able to do some nice area of effect damage right there. And Hulk should be able to pick them off one by one. Crackety going to be losing a fishing ship if he's not careful. First one going to be going down. And it's just, we can see here how important it is to be the first one onto the water. But the War Canoe is out now. So this is the Hulk equivalent for the Malians. Going to be pushing back that galley. But I mean, we got more fishing ships, more warships on the way for Wham. 2 more Hulks. Hulk's going to be really important here. And we got 2. So this is quite interesting. We're seeing both players here go for the Springled ship, which is quite surprising because the current meta is to go just all in galley. So the archer ship. So quite surprising to see there. Maybe we see some of these players, or one of the players, go for some demolition ships to try and counter this. We can see Wham has got 1 galley in there. And there we go. The first demolition ship is out for Wham, and we've got no archer ship for Crackety. This could be a problem. I mean, three of these war canoes does not one-shot the demolition ship. So we're gonna have to see. We can see there it doesn't one-shot. But unfortunately for Wham, a bit of bad pathing back there does mean he has to fall back for the time being. He can heal up that demolition ship underneath the dock. We got more demo ships on the way, more Hulks as well. And for Crackety now, just continuing to make war canoes and fishing ships. Interesting to see, even with the realization that there's demolition ships, no hunting canoes are being added in. These 2 scouts still being annoying. No trade looking to be added in yet for Crackety. This might just be something for later down the line. We can see Wham actually, he spots this out and wants to deal with it early. I mean, the wolf here going to be a bit of a pain. Hopefully Wham realizes this and takes out the wolf. It's always so embarrassing when you send out a villager like this and it dies before it does whatever. There we go. He realizes. That's good. That's good. Right. 3 galleys out for Wham. 4 galleys, actually. 4 galleys, 3 Hulks, and a couple demolition ships. Whereas for Crackety, finally adding in a couple hunting canoes. And I mean, you only need 2. I like to go for 3. 3, make sure you can really take out these demolition ships. You know, you got the security that they're going to be going down. And then you could just go for the war canoes. And there we go. There's the 3rd one. So that's probably all he needs. Yeah, there we go. Another hunting canoe in as well. And it just looks like it's to be more galleys for both of these players. So despite them both opening up with the Springled ship, they're now both looking to go for the mass archer ship, which is the current meta. I mean, they just work so well. We've got canoe tactics coming in as well. Archer ships fire 2 additional javelin fire an additional 2 javelin weapons. It's a little bit confusing to say. Surely could just say +2 arrows or something. Maybe I'm just bad at reading. It's probably the case. But we did see for Wham, look, adding in a couple men-at-arms here. So starting to take out these houses. Do we have any more on the way? We got a couple more here. So actually a proxy barracks over here. It looks like he just wants to be adding them. A big fight happening on the water here. Demolition ship's going to be coming in. Crackety micros them down first, but we see so many ships here for Wham. So many galleys. We got 8 galleys here, whereas for Crackety, he's only got the 2 now. And the Hulks on the back line as well going to be doing lots of damage onto the war canoes. More galleys make their way out as well. And I mean, galleys in a mass like this can just do so much damage onto the Springled ships. So really good fight here by by Wham, and Crackly needs to be careful. I mean, at this point, you might want to start to look to get in some emplacements onto these docks and try and save as many fishing ships. But we can see Crackly down to 5 fishing ships. I mean, he's completely lost water at this point. A men-at-arms are in the base for him, a tower going up for him as well. We do see the Muso Fighting Warriors did actually take out that villager, so well played there by Crackly. Muso Fighting Warriors as well going to be able to trade up pretty well up against men-at-arms. Obviously, Muso Fighting Warriors do counter heavy units. And we can see here, Crackly not looking in a good position at all. I mean, look at the fishing economy right now. 11 fishing ships for Wham. That is 11 more than Crackly has. Despite Crackly having actually 3 docks out, only managed to save 5 fishing ships. But it looks like he's going to be able to clean up these men-at-arms pretty effectively with these Muso Fighting Warriors. It looks like the production has stopped for now. So maybe we see Wham looking to go into the castle age pretty shortly. You can see him adding in another dock. So Wham probably looking to maybe... I mean, yeah, I'm a bit confused as to why another dock. I guess he just wants to eco-boom a little bit more. We can see there lots of fishing ships in the queue. But Crackly has managed to secure this up a little bit more, and look at this, market's going to get dropped down from now. So despite Crackly losing the water, doesn't decide to GG out quite yet. We see villagers moving out for the trade, and I mean, we all know Malian trade and how busted Malian trade can be, but we're gonna have to see how it does here up against Wham, who is on the water with so many fishing ships already. We can see he's 10 eco units ahead. Hugely ahead on the military front. I mean, that's all because of these warships. So we're gonna have to see how this trade does, especially with Wham so far ahead already. But the age up going to be coming through is going to be the Regnant's Cathedral. So Wham looking to be an age ahead of Crackly as well. I mean, it's going to be very, very easy for Wham to pick up all of these relics as well. I mean, Crackly doesn't really have too much of a mass at the moment. He should be able to save this relic, but the rest are going to be quite tricky. This one, and then the rest are over here. So, I mean, that should be like 4 relics, pretty safe for Wham. It's just going to be this 5th one that's going to be quite tricky, but 4 is more than enough. So we're going to have to see how many he looks to pick up and where he decides to place them, because he could look to put them inside the docks for the extra 5% attack speed. But yeah, I mean, he's pretty much one water, so we're gonna have to see what he decides to do with the relics. But the Muso Bloody Warriors now looking to try and burn down those gates, and the trade is already on the way for Crackly. Let's see, 179 gold a minute, or not gold a minute, 179 gold a trade. Pretty decent right there. And we've got the toll outpost being set up now as well. Relics on their way out for Wham, looking to try and pick up those relics. But we can see Crackly looking to try and tower this up a little bit. We see that. Oh, Crackly, don't lose some more villagers. So it looks like he wants to try and pick up that relic, or at least wall it up here. But we can see the prelate's already going to be picking that up. All the toll outposts being set up right now. We can see if we flip over to Crackly's perspective, we'll take a look, see how much he gets extra. Oh, it's on the way out. No, it is that way, yeah. So 17 extra gold. Pretty decent, pretty decent. And we see more oh, Crackly just losing so many villagers. This is not what he needs at all. Wallalo going to be going off here. Crackly needs to delete that villager. Oh, manages to get out. Oh, he deleted it anyway. Oh, Crackly, you got out. You got out and you deleted it anyway. Oh, well. But more and more prelates here, looking to pick up all of the relics. We can see 3 relics going to be returning home for Wham. Archer ship's going to be taking some shots onto the Muso Fighting Warriors right there. We just see how little health they have right there and how much damage they take to these galleys. But we can see the trade is truly on the way for Crackly. But I mean, Wham is so far ahead at this point in time. We see the first relic has been set into the Regnant's Cathedral, and he's going to be bringing in 2 more. We can see there are the other 2. And then this one should be relatively safe. Yeah, we got no sort of units or villages down here for Crackly. We do have a villager moving down, so maybe, but definitely a bit late at that point. And Knights starting to make their way onto the battlefield now for Wham. And I mean, this is going to be a real problem for Crackly. Still in age 2, still a way off. And I mean, he's really heavily investing into this trade. He's got some walls up, but I mean, you know, these Knights are going to be causing a real pain. I mean, it's going to be very easy to break through these palisade walls, and then you only need a couple of them through into the trade, and that's it. Your trade's denied. But we can see the trade at the moment providing a lot of income. These toll outposts just give so much. I mean, 17 gold and 8 food is absolutely crazy stuff right there. So, Crackly, not going to be too far off aging. We can see floating a lot of gold at the minute. So, you might be able to buy a little bit of food and age up. But, yeah, it could be a problem. You know, aging up might be a little bit risky at this point in time. But that is going to be the case. It's going to be the Farimba garrison. Makes a lot of sense. I mean, when you've got all of this gold income, Farimba garrison is going to be the way. And lots of mills being dropped down behind this as well. So, it looks like it's going to be the cow economy. Maybe he looks to put some in the pastures, but I would expect this to be rally towards a town center, and then that's going to be your food eco, because obviously not on the water anymore. You're going to need some sort of food economy, and farms can be quite expensive. When you've got a gold economy like this, just getting cattle makes more sense. But we can see Wham. Oh, Wham. Where's that landmark? Where am I blind? I'm definitely blind. Where's the landmark? There it is. I'm so blind. All right, it's going to be the Palace of Swabia coming up for him. So we can see Crackly's actually 2 economic units ahead at this point in time, but that's going to very, very quickly change because of this Palace of Swabia. And we can see the Horsemen and Knight Mass really starting to build now for Wham. The Horsemen going to be doing a really good job up against any Musofadi warriors coming out of Crackly. And then the Knights are going to be able to do a very good job at just killing stuff like the trade. So yeah, Crackly needs to be very, very careful about this mass, because this mass is really starting to grow, and he can't get any sort of walls up over here, which means these Knights are just going to be running in, and this is going to be a real problem for Crackly. We can see he's got some Donzos here. They have been upgraded to the veterancy status already. We have more and more on the way as well from the Farimba garrison. He's going to need a lot of these to deal with this. But now, Wham looking to burn down these houses, looking to take out that pit mine. But wow, that's a real massive Donzo right there. Crackly has been massing these up, and that is definitely going to be a big enough mass to push this back. But now the next problem arises for Crackly, the age 4 from Wham, and we've got lots of lance connects on the way as well. Lance connects will absolutely shred through this composition from Crackly, and we've got lots of walls going up here. Crackly doing a good job on the walling. But we can see these Knights should be able to just run straight past. Luckily for Crackly, none of these units have any blacksmith upgrades at this point in time. So lots of damage is going to be done by all of these units here. But by the same regard, Crackly's got none of his either. No blacksmith upgrades for either players, and we're 18 minutes into the game. That's quite surprising. And we can see the trade now under a little bit of pressure here for Crackly. Where is that cannon emplacement? Somewhere. But yeah, lots of trade being shut down right now. A little bit of trade going down right there. We'll take a look to see how much trade Crackly's got remaining. Still 32. I mean, yeah, he's really gone heavy on the trade right here, and he's had to. But oh no, Wham now going with the sacred sites. I mean, it's just problem after problem for Crackly. But I mean, at the moment, he's managed to deal with it pretty effectively. But we can see Wham is an age 4. He's an age ahead. He's got the Palace of Swabia up. He's going to be booming away with the villagers. And now we've got sacred sites. And this is where the cannon emplacement is. This one right here. No fortified emplacement yet. But definitely nice for Wham right there. Got himself a nice position. But we've got Springles coming out from Crackly now as well. Looking to try and shut down a bit of this water. I mean, these ships have been a real pain. I think he wants to get up a nice wall here. I mean, definitely be handy. Pit mine going to be going down here as well. And it looks like Crackly wants to try and take out some of the ships with his Donzo, but that's going to be a lot of damage right there. Lance connects out for Wham as well. These guys are going to absolutely shred through everything here. Crackly's going to have to add in something else. I mean, maybe he looks to get out like a Mangonel, maybe. We can see here. Fortunately for Wham, fortunately for Crackly, only 5 Lance connects. They are in the elite status right now. We can just see them shredding through this composition from Crackly. I mean, despite them being 5 of them, look at the amount of damage they just did. I mean, luckily for Crackly, he's got a huge mass right there. But now it looks like he wants to try and shut down that sacred site. Not much of a mass out of Wham for the time being. Not really been pumping out these Lance connects. And that outpost does get taken down. So that sacred site is going to be denied for the time being. Sacred site victory isn't going to be the win condition here for Wham. And the Springles look like they have completely cleaned up this side of the water. So that buys Crackety some nice time here to get up some walls. And we can see that the trade is still absolutely crazy here. I mean, look at the gold income from Crackety. 3,000 gold a minute. You can see there 44 traders. That is crazy stuff right there. But do bear in mind, Wham is still an age ahead. And he's got the Palace of Swabia up, building up that villager lead. But lots of lance connects making their way over. We got some archers here as well from Crackety. No poisoned arrows in yet for those guys. We can see here the lance connects just do so much damage. I like what Crackety's doing here though, sending in unit by unit and just making sure the archers deal with them one by one. So good micro there by Crackety, but 2C's workshops up for Wham now. Only needs a couple mangonels and Crackety will be in some trouble, but we do have the Springlets on the back line here as well, which he can always bring forwards here. But right now, Crackety's looking in a pretty decent position. I'm going to be honest, like, this is looking absolutely dire for him earlier. I mean, he just lost water. Wham was denying trade for the time being. He was booming away on water. But at this point in time, Crackety's looking pretty decent. He's already aging up. It's going to be the Fort of the Huntress. It's going to be in the south side of the map here. Bringing lots of villagers to build that up. He wants to just make sure this south side is safe. Probably looks to get up a nice wall there as well. So we can just focus on the right-hand side of the map here. Cannon placement for Wham. Going to be doing lots of damage there onto the archers. Springles here for Crackety as well. Going to be able to do with any sort of siege. We've got a Culverin in the queue for him as well. And it looks like archery ranges coming down from Wham. But lots of lance connects. They're going to be doing some decent damage here. Men-at-arms mixed in there as well. Crackety's going to have to do some real micro here to make sure he's focusing down the lance connects. I mean, this is something I really struggle with. Like, microing between the lance connects and the men-at-arms is really, really tricky. You can see there. Crackety doing a really good job here. That's an expensive unit for Wham to be losing right there. 600 gold, 400 wood. And we can see Wham is actually struggling a little bit on the gold front. Only got 3 relics in the bank at the moment. We can see he's still... Has it... How long has this guy been standing here for? Oh, Wham. At least put it in your dock, mate. That is unfortunate. But Crackety ages up now. Starting to build up that mass behind here again. And we can see Keep Drop coming in from Wham. Looking to try and secure up that Sacred Site. It really looks like he wants to be going for the Sacred Site win. But I mean, Crackety at the moment looking really, really strong. But Horsemen back into the base. Only a couple of them, though. Only a couple of them make them through, and this Springleton placement should be able to deal with that pretty effectively. But Springleton's on the front line here for Crackety. It's going to be going down. He really wants to try and deny this keep. If this keep goes up, that could be some issues for this Sacred Site. We can see it's going to be captured up again by this Prelate. But we can see elite upgrades come in for the Muso fighting warriors, and this keep's going to get denied. All of these villagers are going to be going down. Villagers aren't going to be the main issue here. It's more the position. I mean, the villagers can be very easily replaced by the Palace of Swabia, but this position isn't going to be easy for Wham to reclaim. I mean, time after time, Crackety has managed to capture this Sacred Site, and we can see that relic is going to be finally placed inside of the outpost. I mean, definitely what you want. These outposts are absolutely crazy when they've got the relic in and cannon placement, but emergency repairs coming in. No fortified outpost, so that is going to be going down very quickly. Relic going to be evacuated there as well. No Waterloo going to be coming off. And we can see Crackety's just going to be chasing that down, and Keep on the back line going to be rushed up here. 35 villagers on that Keep right there. Wham looking in a little bit of trouble here. Emergency repairs are doing a lot of work here. And that the outpost is actually doing so much damage right there. We can see it does go down. Muso Fighting Warrior is going to be doing a decent job here up against the Men-at-Arms. Mangonel on the back line doing some damage here as well. Springle going to be brought to the front here. Culverin out for Wham yet again. Should be able to take out that Springled. Unfortunately for Wham, not focusing down that Culverin. Oh, he's not oh, he does focus it down. He does focus it down. Okay. So Wham managing to hold this position for now. He's got the keep up over here as well. Might look to bring forward a Prelate. Looks to bring that relic inside of the keep. But we can see more and more Muso Fighty gunners making their way onto the front line now as well. Definitely what you want to see when you're playing as the Malians. You see, they're relatively cheap for 5 of them. I mean, they only take 39 seconds to make out of this landmark for 960 gold for 5 of them. It's pretty good. it's pretty good. And when you've got 5,000 gold income, I mean, yeah, you can definitely afford to spend that. So, I mean, sure, this is almost 2,000 gold a minute used here, but that's also 10 Muso Fadi gunners a minute. And I mean, you know, 2,000 gold a minute doesn't sound too bad when you're getting 10 of those bad boys. But we can see Crackdy here looking to just fortify this position up a little bit more. And it looks like he wants to go back onto the wards. We can see lots of docks have been placed down here, but a Hulk still remains for Wham here, and he spots it out. Crackdy revealing himself here, so I would expect Wham to be making a couple cracks maybe to try and just shut this down immediately. You can't let Crackdy get back onto the water at this point in the game. But no reaction yet from Wham. You can see that. Maybe he just thinks it was the one dock. We can see here the mass building here for Crackdy looks to just be primarily elite Muso Fadi warriors and Muso Fadi gunners. We'll take a look at their blacksmith upgrades. Crackdy grabbed most of them. We'll have a look over here for Wham. Still lacking quite a lot of them, to be honest. He needs that fitted leatherwork. The fitted leatherwork, really important upgrade when you've got so many of these men-at-arms and landsknechts up against Muso Fadi warriors. So quite surprising to see there from Wham not picking up even the tier 1 upgrade. So lacking a little bit there on the blacksmith upgrades, especially when you're at this point in the game, 26 minutes through the game and you've got fishing economy. But it seems to be the issue for Wham seems to be the gold. We can see he's out here on the gold mine. He's also got this large gold mine as well, so sending lots of villagers out there. But I mean, yeah, at this point in the game, you really want to see more of those upgrades. And Crackdy looking in a pretty decent position here. We got a Mangonel and a Colvin on the back line. No sort of anti-siege for Crackdy, so it looks like he's going to try and get off a couple shots here. Oh, huge shot from the Mangonel onto the Muso Fadi gunners and the archers right there. Archers aren't the problem, but huge shots onto the gunners. I mean, Crackdy, that's an expensive unit to be letting bead Mangonels. That sentence did not make any sense. But yeah, unfortunately for Crackdy, going to be losing his whole entire force right there. Muso Fadi warriors are into the base now, though. Probably looking to raid some of the economy here. Maybe looking to see if there's any sort of trade coming out from Wham. But not going to be the case. Wham hasn't decided to think about trade whatsoever. I mean, when you've got water like this, I mean, you know, you'd really want to be trading here with this coastal trade site. Hunting canoes are out for Crackdy as well. Wham, I'm not sure what Wham's doing here. He could have shut this down super easily, but not going to be the case. We do have the Tolt outpost here with the cannon emplacement. And unfortunately for Crackdy, these guys are going to be shot down. And it looks like Wham wants to put on the pressure now. Horsemen plus archers, and they've got their flaming arrows in as well. So these guys are going to be doing really, really well up against these Muso Fadi warriors. But we've got Muso Fadi gunners here as well. Culverin's coming out from Crackdy now as well. And I mean, this is what's so great about trade. You can just the Malians and trade just work so well. I mean, you can get Culverin, a very gold heavy unit. I mean, you can spend all the gold on Muso Fadi gunners. You know, the Malians on trade just feel so good. Landsknecht's going to be going down here as well. Crackdy looking to be on the offensive again. And I mean, Crackdy might look to try and take out that Culverin. I mean, that Culverin's an expensive unit to be losing. And you can see Wham he's recovered again on the gold front. But now the next problem's the food. Only got 1,000 food a minute. I mean, Crackdy's even got more than that. And he's not really relying on the food. And that's because of this. Oh, no. Wham losing the whole waterfront. This is horrendous for Wham. I mean, he's behind the villagers now. Wham could have shut this down so easily. Keep going to be trying to be put up on the front line here on the water, but it's going to be cancelled. This is absolutely awful for Wham. I mean, he's going to have to, and we can see all of the farms have been shut down here as well. No villagers on the farms. Luckily, the Palace of Swabia is going to have to go into overdrive, and it can, you know, hopefully get up some villagers here. We see villagers returning back to work onto the farms. Sacred Site victory is approaching again for Wham. And we can see on the front line here, it looks like he's looking to push forwards again. Culverin's making their way onto the front line. Going to be able to trade well with with only the one Culverin and the Mangonel from Wham. That is, unless they go down to these horsemen. But Crackdy looking to just pump out the units right now. Mangonel coming out for him as well. I mean, if he gets a couple of nice shots onto these archers, he'll be looking in a great position. Huge shot onto the archers right there. If he gets another shot off, that's going to be it. All of those units are going to be going down. Culverin exchanging 1-for-1 right there, but Crackety still has 1 remaining. Going to be able to push back that Mangonel. And this is absolutely awful for Wham. Wham just wasn't paying attention on the water here. I mean, if he took out this dock earlier, that would have been it. I mean, Crackety would have been, you know, he wouldn't have been in this position where Wham has no food eco. And it's going to be a real issue for Wham to try and replace all of the food. As we can see, only at 500 food a minute. And when you're making primarily men-at-arms and archers, food is definitely something you need. We can see lots of Landscax being pushed out now. Luckily, Landscax not being too food heavy. Still, you know, still 60 food. But primarily gold. And gold at the moment is, I mean, saying that, not looking too good on any resource front, to be honest, for Wham. What a turnaround from Crackety. Crackety, the only thing for Crackety at the moment that's worrying is the sacred sites. But even then, I mean, the mass from Crackety is looking pretty decent to be able to take this out. I mean, Wham was looking in such a good position earlier on. I mean, he had water control, he was an age ahead, he was denying trade. But Crackety's just done such a good job this game, managing to bring it back. I mean, look at the trade for him right now. We'll take a look. He's got 62 traders. Half of his economy is just traders right now. That is crazy, crazy stuff. And we see the rest of his economy is just on the wood. And we can see Wham looking to build up that villager. The villager production again. Gonna have to expand out very heavily onto the farms here. Very inefficient farms. I mean, yeah, you really want to get down a couple more mills here. We can see all of the docks are going to be burnt down here. And now the sacred site going to be taken back from Crackety. Elite Sofas making their way onto the field now as well. Looks like it's going to be Elite Sofa with the Muso Fadi Gunners, with a few Muso Fadi Warriors mixed in there as well. Oh, I do apologize for that little divert right there. And you can see Culverin's going to be going down for Wham as well. Muso Fadi Gunners just doing such a good job here. Lots of siege making their way onto the battlefield here for Crackety as well. I mean, Culverin for the Malians just feels so good. And we can see here, Wham just not looking too good. He's at 136 population out of the 200. And any unit Crackety loses, it just immediately gets replaced by another unit, sitting at 200 out of 200. Whereas for Wham, look at that, his unit count is just not going back up. So it's alright for Crackety to be taking trades like this. It may not be the best, but it's alright. He's got the insane economy. I mean, he's floating 16,000 gold right now. I mean, Wham could really be doing with a bit of that right now, that's for sure. But we can just see so many units just being pumped onto the battlefield right now. I mean, at this point in time, Crackety could even delete some of these traders. He doesn't need all of these. When you're floating that much gold, you can start to delete some of them. And maybe go down to, like, you know, even just deleting 10 of them is enough. But Culverin out for Wham. I mean, still looking to push this back, but how long can he last this for? He's down to literally 0 food. He's recovered a little bit with all of these farms. It was super inefficient farms right here. And we see Crackety's going to be capturing up that southern sacred site as well. And it looks like he's going to be burning down to the south here as well. But Crackety going to be pushed back. It's just one big back and forth over here. And we see the wall going to be deleted there for Crackety. And Crackety's through here. Villagers going to be starting to go down here. I mean, look at that Elite Sofa, two-shotting these villagers. No textiles through, I'd assume. Yeah, no textiles through. That Elite Sofa is crazy. I did not think that they could two-shot these villagers like that, but clearly they can. These guys have some insane damage. And we can see here, Crackety's just pumping through the sofas right now. Lots of units going down. I mean, all of it. Oh no, Wham. Not looking in a good position at all. So many sofas being pumped onto the field right now. It looks, and look at this. Huntington is doing some damage here onto the passerby horseman. Unfortunately for Crackety, not paying too much attention here. Sofas are going to be able to take out those sofa. But we can see here the mass for Wham just not looking too good. Down to 120 population. And he's down to 80 villagers. I mean, you've got the Palace of Swabia. You should have a crazy, crazy villager lead right now. You should be on like 140 villagers. But they're all dead. They're all dead on the most important sources right now. I mean, this gold mine is your main source of gold. I mean, there's only 240 gold left in this. And once that gone, where's your gold coming from? I mean, sure, you got 4 relics in the bank. The 5th one's still remaining up here for Crackety. But yeah, I mean, Not looking too good for Wham at all. Creep drop going to be happening on the left-hand side of the map here. Wants to try and capture up that sacred site yet again, or just sort of secure up this area, but Crackley's moving positions now. He's just walling up, keeping up this sacred site over here, making sure that Wham can't retake it, just looking to really secure up this area. And that means he can now start to focus on the south side. Luckily for Wham, does manage to get up that keep. But how long is that going to be lasting for? No sort of emplacements. No, not even boiling oil. If boiling oil in was here, that keep might be doing some pretty decent damage to this, but unfortunately for him, it's just going to be going down. And look at the mass coming through, and we see Crackley did actually delete some, must be some traders somewhere, or some sort of village. Yeah, he must have deleted some villagers somewhere. We see still up to yeah, I mean, yeah, GG gets called. Makes sense. I mean, yeah, Wham had this in the bag earlier on in the game, but Crackley did such an amazing job at coming back. So there we have it, guys. Trade is better than water. There, I said it first. Trade is way better than water. I mean, I probably didn't say it first. Probably someone else did. But anyway, if you did enjoy this, guys, please do feel free to leave a like, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.